And in the wood yard, we're going on a road trip. I got the baby dump trailer hooked up and we're going to pick up a new implement, something for the wood yard, something that I have wanted, needed, lusted after, desired for a very long time. You're gonna see what it is real soon. We're going up to Green Bay to Logger Jason's. He's got something for me. Going to pick it up. Here we go. So I just pulled into Logger Jason's and this is what I came for. This is a large materials bucket, a lightweight one. Well, medium weight. It's not super light, it's not super thin. A little bit heavier, so that's a good thing. He found this at an online auction or something like that. It's actually new, well, new stock. It hasn't been used yet. You can see the cutting edge here has no nicks on it or anything. I think this looks like it's 1/4 inch. It's like 5/16. Standard skid steer hookup. It's got the step over plate for a skid steer right there. It's got a double wall here on the outside, there and there, so that's pretty good. And he told me that he thinks he wants this one and I'm gonna buy his old one. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna do some measurements. I've got my tape measure. They're both 84 wide. I wanted 84 inches, so that's good. It's gonna come down to, we're gonna actually weigh him possibly when he gets here. I think he's out to lunch right now. I got here and there's nobody here. That usually goes to lunch. And so I'm gonna do some measurements here, height and depth. I know they're 84 wide, both of them, but we're gonna check out the height. So if you look on the inside here, it's basically 26 inches. And the depth, it's got an angle in the back, so we're just gonna go to there. So it's about 30, 31. If you go all the way, it's about 33, something like that. And we're gonna go look at the other one. And the other one he's had for quite a while. He doesn't use it that much, but he does need one that he uses for his skid steer and stuff like that. I want one for doing firewood, for scooping it up, and for when I'm working off of a splitter to be able to use the tractor to fill it up. Now this one is not as high. This is the one he's had for a while. You can see it's got a little use to it, but still in good shape. I think it's a little thinner steel, it looks like. It's got the same edge on here, so that'll work either way. But it is not as high. This is only 22, 23 inches high. And the depth on it is a little less. Actually, it's a little deeper if you go that way. So it's a little deeper, not quite as high, but a little deeper. So not that that matters. So what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna weigh them when he gets here, hopefully. And I want the lighter one. Some people would say, oh, take the heavier one. Well, I want the lighter one because I want to be able to lift as much as possible as far as wood with it. So when he gets here, we'll talk about it. Now, I've looked at these. My good friend, old best friend that is, Tony, has a lightweight materials bucket. His is a Tomahawk brand, and I think they're around $1,200, something like that. They're made in Indiana. And he bought his, he got his given to him from doing a review. I just need to buy one. And so I've been looking, and I thought about getting a couple different brands I've looked at, some heavier duty ones. I talked to a couple different people, and they said, you know, you're gonna probably end up spending somewhere around 12 on the minimum to as much as 1,500 for a decent sized bucket. Well, Jason found this one, well, the one that's over there. He found that one, and 600 bucks. So half price is my kind of price besides the Bob Barker price, which is free. I'm gonna go look at this other one over here again. I don't know, you guys tell me which one I'm supposed to get. I'm gonna get one of them. I brought my trailer, it's all hooked up to the truck, so one of these is going home with me. I don't know if it's gonna be the newish one or Jason's used one. Like I said, they both would be just fine. Let's see again here. This one's, yeah, 33. So the other one is a little deeper, but this one is a little higher. So there's that. Looks like there's a bunch of raccoon tracks in there. This one is a little thicker steel, I think. I don't know. They're pretty darn similar. There's really not that much difference to them, other than they're pretty substantial. So should work out pretty good. I am thinking that this is something I've been wanting to do for a while now. I've used the one that's on the farm for quite a while. It's a skid steer mount bucket. I don't know how big that is. I don't think it's 84 inches. I don't think it's quite as wide as this, but it's a heavy steel. So when I got it loaded and you got the bucket on there, it's a lot of weight. So I wanted to get something a little lighter, hopefully a few 100 pounds less, so I can get more wood in it, which is what I'm going to be using it for. And my brother Ken's been looking at these, but he's got a problem is that he's got a John Deere. So he can't have a skid steer mounter. He's gonna have to get an adapter, or he's gonna have to buy something from John Deere because he's got that John Deere system, which, love it or hate it, that's what he's got. So hopefully Jason will get here and we'll figure out what we're gonna do. Okay, so we talked it over, and this is his old one. This is what I'm gonna get because it is quite a bit lighter. The back wall on this is a little thinner, which is fine for me. So this is the one I'm getting, and he's gonna somehow delicately load it into the trailer. Well, there's the bucket, and I just backed up here. Tractor's sitting over here, so I'm gonna dump this bucket. It's not every day you dump a bucket, but there it is. We're gonna dump it out of here, and then we're gonna hook it up, and we're gonna move some wood. So there's the new bucket, there's the old bucket. So there's nothing wrong with this bucket. It's an adequate size. It's way bigger than a lot of people's buckets are, but the new one is twice as deep, and I think it's a foot wider, because I think that's a 7 foot. Could be 6. Let me just see once. Let's just see. It's a 6. That's a 6 footer. And this one is 84 inches, so it's 8 feet. No, 7 feet. So it's 7 feet. That's 6 feet. This one's a little higher than that one, and it's twice as deep. So volume-wise, this should be able to hold more than twice as much. I'll have to figure it out. And it's not that that was terrible, but if I'm doing a lot of wood, I want to be able to scoop up these big piles. I want to be able to fill it up when we're doing tree service wood, to where I can have the bucket right there and I can do basically almost a face cord, a third of a cord of wood at a time. Tony has one, like I've mentioned. He uses it for snow removal. He says it's fantastic. And I want to be able to use it for mainly doing firewood. So I think it's a real good buy on it. Like I said, brand new. And everything I looked at was between $1,200 and $1,500. I got this for $650. So I think it was a very good buy. And a lot of guys like to buy new stuff. And I like new stuff as much as anybody, don't get me wrong. But it's a bucket. It's going to get scraped and pounded, and crap will go in there, and it's going to be very nice. So I think I'm going to get this bucket out of here. This cherry, I've got a bin that's pretty open. I think we're going to scoop up this cherry up, have to move the wolf ridge out of here, and then maybe even the hickory, we can get that moved too. So there's something that I did not mention, is that what I'm doing with this big bucket is also going to be snow removal. And after talking with Tony, he said his big materials bucket's better than a snow pusher. So I happen to have a snow pusher. It is right here. It is a CDI, and it is an 8 footer, and it's got the sides on it. It's got the rubber across the bottom. You can flip that over. So I've only ever used the one edge. I got a little notch out of there, but the rest of it is good. It's got the braces in it. I bought this brand new 3-4 years ago now, and I've only ever used it a little bit when I had at my old business in my parking lot, and here I've only used it a couple times, and I really don't need it anymore. So I am selling this. If anybody's interested in a CID extreme attachments snow pusher, like I said, it's an 8 footer. I am selling it. I think brand new I paid 15 or 16, somewhere in that range I want to say for it. And I think brand new now they're around 2,000. So price has gone up over the last 4 or 5 years. So I'm going to sell it. I don't know what I'm going to ask for it. I think I've seen some advertised in the range of 14 to 15 because like I said, brand new they're like 2,000 now. So I do want to sell it. So if anybody's interested, let me know. There's my little ad. That's all I got. Okay, now we're going to move my old bucket with the new bucket. And then we're going to scoop up some of this cherry and put it into the bin. I got these... I'm going to move these out of here. These are, my brother's left these here. These are hollow rounds of beech. These he sells to people that do bear baiting because this is what they have to use. They have to use a natural stump and then they put a natural cookie on the top of it so raccoons can't eat everything out. And they use these for baiting for bear. I guess these are worth anywhere from 25 to 50 bucks a piece depending on the market. But yeah, guys have to have these to legally bait bear in Wisconsin here. That's what they use them for. So, okay, get back to work. That's what I got to do. There you get an idea how much bigger the new bucket is. I don't know. It's bigger. Better, like the $6 million man, stronger, faster. it is, a big, beautiful, bouncing baby black bucket. Worked good, I like it. A lot less scoops. It's lighter, I can definitely tell, than the one that's on the farm here. On the farm one is much thicker because this has the lighter back plate, which is gonna work out really good for firewood. And I got all of the cherry that was up against the barn is now in the bin. And there's probably, well, I got this in 2 halves, but each half, I'm just guessing, has 4-ish, about 4 full cords in each bin. So there's about 8, maybe only 7, I don't know. 7, 8, yeah, probably 7, probably 3 in this one and 4 in that one. About 7 would be my guess. Cherry is in here now. Some of the cherry I buried was a year old, and on this side, and then some of the cherry that I buried over on this side, down in this corner over here, you can kind of see this real light colored stuff right on this end here. There was some light colored stuff right in here that was, it's been out here since, boy, I don't know, early last winter, so like December-ish. And it's this stuff that I just took out of here too. I've done some tests on this, and I can tell just by lifting it, it's light. But I've done some moisture tests on it, and it's really close to being perfectly good. It's right around 20, 21, 22% tops. Some of the bigger ones I checked. The small ones, the thin ones, they're dry as can be. So in another month out here, they'll be below 20%, and they'll be great. And this is about how much I go through in a year. There's about a half of a semi-load here is what I would guess. That's probably about what's in here. That's about what I sell every year. I would like to have a full semi-load, which means, 11, 12 full cords. There's probably 7 here, something like that. So this will all sell. Cherry's pretty popular. I'd like to sell more of it if I could get more of it. Very good wood. So I got all the cherry brought back here. There's still the big pile of hickory, and that's going to go in this bin over here. I'll show you this other bin. And I'm not doing that today because I don't have time. I got to go somewhere. But the hickory is going to go in this bin. So all I got to do is stand this back up, rewire this together. Right here is where I put the beech the other day. So from right here down to right here is beech. And then all this through here is all ash. It was put in this winter. So the beech is pretty much dry too. And then the hickory will be down on this end here. So that's kind of my plan as far as what I'm going to do. And I know the wood well enough that if people want something specific, I can pull out specific kinds and have it in there, because the beech and the ash are real easy to tell apart, for me anyway. This is what the ash looks like. This is the bark, and this is the beech. So very, very different, easy to tell. And you can even tell by looking at the wood how different it is. This is the beech, this is the ash. And I can tell if somebody gets one piece mixed, it's not going to be the end of the world. And then the same with the hickory and the beech. I can tell the difference on that too. But a lot of times people that get hickory have also got beech for doing smoking and meat, so it'll work either way. There you go, folks. The bucket did its job. I'll be using it a lot more, so it's pretty awesome. I'm happy to have it. I've been wanting one, lusting, desiring, thinking about it for a very long time, and now I have one. That is it for today, folks. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. I'm going to be here. You're going to be here because this is the place to be, as you know. Good night, Irene.